Yeah.
So I'm here with my special guest, Chini.
What's
Say
going
hi.
on, everyone? How are you? Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out and working with me on the time.
It's no problem. There's a lot of things I want to get into. First one, we're going to just get this out the way. GTS. There's probably a lot that we could go into on that, but
Yeah.
is there any really fun memories you have of GTS?
Yeah, so many fond memories, and nothing but good things really to say about Grim. He really helped me out, on a personal level. He gave me a place to live for 2 years, and he's just a great guy. And on top of that, gave me a place to wrestle and a platform to perform on, and gain fans such as yourself and other people who found me because of GTS. I can never be more grateful towards anybody, really. There's a list of people that I'm very grateful for in this business, but Grim is on the top of that list for sure. As far as like fond memories, specifically, I really love my TLC match that I had at Sucka Slam 2018. That was like one of my biggest high profile matches, if you will, at that time. And it was a lot of fun. I actually sprained my ankle in that match, but it was still a lot of fun. And then another one would be, I guess, my feud with Joey Angelo, leading up to the Royal Familia being made, was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, bleeding and beating up each other with Joey Angelo, and he's phenomenal. I know he's the champ right now. And he's got a lot going on going into Grimomania, and I'm really proud of him.
The Royal Familia is officially broken up now, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm glad you did your research. Excuse my dog. Cece, relax. You could follow Cece actually at Cece Chini on Instagram. That's what she's trying to tell you.
Oh, okay.
But
she's getting the plug in a little early.
What's that?
She's getting the plug in a little early.
Yeah, she doesn't do these often. She doesn't know how to work it. But anyway, Angelo, I'm really proud of him, and even though the Familia is officially broken up, which like I said, I'm glad you did your research. It's just time for all of us to move on. Like I said, Angelo, look at him. I mean, Joey Angelo's the champ. He's the man. He's got a main match right now. At Grimomania, and he doesn't need the Familia, and neither do I. Frank, on the other hand, we'll see how he fares.
So we were talking about GTS. You're also a part of LTW, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Anything you can talk to about that?
LTW, I mean, it started off a couple of years back, and we actually did a birthday party, and that was really how it all started. It was just, we had a ring, we had a roster, we wanted to put on a birthday party for 2 kids, and that was what we wanted to do. And then it kind of just all sprouted from that. So I've been with LTW since the beginning, and I appreciate everybody here at LTW, for standing behind me. And I've won the light heavyweight championship here. And who's to say I'm not going to win the heavyweight championship next, or maybe I have my eyes on that wild card title, but at the end of the day, I really do like LTW, and we're going to new heights. I mean, if you watched the show from the other day, I mean, we had a great crowd. We had WWF legend Gerald Briscoe. I mean, it was a packed show, and we had some great matches on it. And like I said, I made a statement that night, canceling the Royal Familia, taking them out, and we got to see where Tony Chini is going to go from there.
Gerald Briscoe was there for the talent scouting there, wasn't he?
He was a part of our tryouts. Yep, we held tryouts. It wasn't just LTW. GTS was also a part of it. So was other companies such as 1CW based out of Delaware, Maryland. We also had Invictus Pro Wrestling, Ace Fusion Championship Wrestling, Kaiju Pro Wrestling. So we had a few companies represented, watching. ACW from New York, it was a really good time, and we actually found a lot of talent that you're actually going to see at the next LTW show. I can't say much more than that, but a couple people from that tryout, you're going to be seeing their faces pretty soon.
And while we're on this, shout out to Era Spiral for what she did the other night at that tryout.
Yeah, she worked hard, and she worked really hard, and for things to happen the way they did, during the drill, it's nothing against her. It happens to everybody, and the fact that she stepped outside, she got her stuff together, she came back, and she kept going, and that's all there is to it. Is just you got to keep going, and yeah, props to her for sure.
So you also worked with UWC.
Absolutely, yeah.
What was one of your favorite moments from UWC?
Oh wow, I have so many wonderful memories with UWC. During the I love doing the Toys for Tots shows that they do every year during Christmas, and we all go and we do the show, and we donate our pay to Toys for Tots, and we all donate toys, and everybody, the admission for coming in is toy donation. It's a very awesome program that we do, and doing those shows are honestly my favorite with UWC, because it really brings out like the family in everybody. Everybody there is there, to support each other, and it's a really good feeling doing those Toys for Tots shows, and knowing that you're doing something for a good cause, and it's not just for the money or for this and that. It's for a cause that's really helping people, and that's my favorite moments with UWC, is doing those shows.
We also got to talk about the virtual basement video game, the Wrestle Codes.
Oh yes, the Wrestling Code.
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. There's tons to talk about with the Wrestling Code. Oh man, I mean, I never imagined. I'll say this much, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I've never imagined that I was going to be such a big part of it, in the fact that they're bringing me back, consistently to help with the motion capture, and I'm so grateful and thankful to Virtual Basement for letting me do that and bringing me on these trips. And I've stepped in the ring now with Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Diamond Dallas Page. It was just announced PCO, Ruckus. I mean, so many people, and the Crowbar, Nunzio. It's incredible, and there's still so much more to do this year, and next year, and when this game comes out, I'm telling you, it's gonna rock the world. I mean, like 2K22, I've actually been playing it recently, and I mean, it's a good game. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. I'm not one of those people. It's a good game, but I'm telling you right now that the detail that's being put into the Wrestling Code is not like anything you've ever seen before. I'm telling you right now. I mean, something, a little behind the scenes, if you will. The WWE, like when they do their motion capture for the games, they kind of have like 2 wrestlers, or if they're, for tag team stuff, 4 wrestlers just come in and they do everybody's moves. So they're going in, and one guy is doing Hulk Hogan's moves, Goldberg's moves, Triple H's moves, and it's all one guy doing those things, right? So us, with the Wrestling Code, Rob Van Dam did his moves. His moves in the game, that was performed by Rob Van Dam himself. It's not somebody pretending to be him, it's him. There's obviously certain exceptions to where, people are going to have motion capture performed for them, people who have passed away, or people who just, maybe are retired or anything like that. But for the most part, even Nunzio, like I said, got in there. Kurt Angle got in there. I was taking angle slams and ankle locks. You know what I mean? Everything that's in there is 100% genuine, and that's a huge detail about the game that people are going to appreciate.
They also have released some snapshots of wrestlers, and they look a lot better than 2K22's already.
Oh man, yeah, and I've seen the screenshots of my character already, and it's not publicly released out there, but I can't wait for everybody to see it, because it's honestly, I mean, you see my hair is crazy, it's all over the place, but they nailed it. I mean, they nailed it. It looks so much like me, I mean, I'm wearing my own shirt. You know, it's crazy. It's very, very cool. My gear is in there. When they do it, like, they take pictures of everybody's gear, their tattoos, and they take detailed pictures of everything, and everything gets. There's somebody. He goes by. His name is Dre, but I can't remember his handle right now. It's like Dre by Games or Dre Games. I can't remember. He does a lot of gaming stuff. He does a lot of 2K22 cause and that kind of stuff. But he also hand draws like every tattoo and every detail in the game. He recreates it and redraws it for the game. So if like, I don't have any tattoos, but like, let's just say, for example, Scott Steiner. You know, like whenever, like when the model that they posted is the version of Scott Steiner without any tattoos, but eventually we're going to post the one with tattoos, and that is all going to be hand drawn by this guy. I mean, everything, like I said, is very detailed. It's not just copy and paste. Like, everything is very, it's like taking a ball of clay and making it into something as opposed to running it through the 3D printer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That really excites me because this game has been a little under the wrap, so that's exciting to hear.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, the thing is it actually, like, when the game got announced, it wasn't supposed to be announced yet. You know, like, obviously when people start working on projects, you start to work on it and then you announce it when things are going. Unfortunately, somebody kind of spilled the beans about the game when they weren't supposed to release any information about it yet. And that's why people are kind of been like, oh, it's taking too long and all this. I mean, people weren't even supposed to know that it was even in existence yet.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when they wanted to start motion capture was when COVID was running rampant in 2020.
Yeah.
So realistically, the game would have been a year ahead if they had started when they really wanted to start.
So it should have been out right about now.
It should have been out, yeah, just right about now or towards the end of this year. And now, you know, it's going to take about a little bit longer to get everything done. But I know that, you know, from what they just recently announced on their Twitter, they're going to be posting, like, when they actually release the game, it's going to be kind of like a, I don't know the exact terminology for it, but it's like kind of like a pre-release. And
Okay.
It's going to be like on the PC, but eventually it's going to be available on Xbox and PlayStation and all that. But when it's initially released, it's going to be kind of like a pre-release with, like, I think like somewhere between 30 and 60 wrestlers to start. And everything's just going to update from there. And you don't have to, like, there's going to be certain people that are DLC that you have to purchase. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of people that are just updated into the game, like monthly or you know, every couple months. And the game is just going to keep growing. So, like, instead of having the Wrestling Code 2 and the Wrestling Code 3 or 2K, whatever, it's just going to be the Wrestling Code. It's just going to keep updating every year. And there's going to be
that is brilliant.
More wrestlers added. You know, I mean, it's going to be really, really cool. And, you know, imagine if WWE did something like that, to where instead of making 2K 22, 23, 24 and having to rush.
Yeah.
Imagine if they just updated it every year. It was like, all right, you know, with certain people, you know, they can just, they would have to get some, you know, contracts or whatever solved, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I feel like that would just be so much easier than having to rush a game out every year.
That has been something I've been saying for years for WWE to do, is just to update the roster, and if they release somebody, take them out.
Yeah, and, you know, and there could be something contractually where if they're released, they can still be in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of options that you could do with it, you know, but it's just, I guess it's just hard to deal with people and contracts and all that at the end of the day. But, you know, I mean, if we're able to pull it off, you know, I think it's going to be worth the wait. I know a lot of people are eager to see it. We're trying to give you as much as we can, you know what I mean? We're trying to give you as much footage. We got something else in the works that I can't really talk about right now, but, you know, some more videos will be released soon is all I could say. And, you know, I'm very excited to show everybody, because, I mean, I know personally how much work I've been putting in towards, you know, helping this game and you know, sometimes sacrificing bookings, you know, if I'm going to be real with you, sacrificing, you know, bookings and doing all this stuff just to put more time into this game to make sure it comes out at a good time for everybody to play. And, you know, I really care about it. And I know that the developers really do too. So it's going to be really, really good. I'm telling you right now.
All right. So something I'm a little more known for on YouTube is entrance music with the videos and stuff. Are you gonna have your entrance music in the wrestler code, or are they gonna make it like your custom one?
So they make custom entrance music for everybody. Everybody on the roster they have their own musicians that make custom entrance music for everybody. So if you go through Virtual Basement LLC on Instagram or Virtual Basement on Twitter, if you roll through those, you can
I have a lot of their music posted on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, so they just posted a new one today on their Twitter of Red to Green. Now I don't know if you like, some people know the reference where the red guy and the green guy, like in the creator wrestlers, like they were always beating each other up, and that kind of sprouted from us doing the motion capture all the time. So they're actually going to have red and green as playable characters in the game, and they just released their entrance music today.
I love that.
So like, that's something that you can check out on Twitter. If you go through Instagram, like I said, you can scroll through and check out a whole bunch of people's. I mean, my personal favorite theme song that they made for the game so far, and it's like I said, it's available on their Instagram right now, is the Raven one. It might be available on your YouTube channel too.
It is.
The Raven theme song, I think they nailed it. They nailed it. It's perfect. I mean, it's like a mix of all of his old theme songs put into one with the sound effects. It's great. It sounds really, really good. So eventually, there should be a custom Tony Chini. I mean, that's what I would think, is since I'm in the roster, they'd have a custom Tony Chini entrance video and song.
I guess it's a little important to hear that Grimm's not going to have Engine Fire as his theme.
Well, like I said, we base everything off of people's theme songs, so you never know. I mean, like, it could be something similar, a little bit vamped up, and at the end of the day, when they make that theme song for you, you own that theme song, you can use it. You know what I mean? Grim might have a vamped up theme song by the end of it.
That might be really cool.
It could be cool.
As his own personal theme song, that would be really cool.
Absolutely.
While we're speaking on theme songs, I think the one on my YouTube channel that has gotten the most liked has been the Sandman's theme song.
That one they nailed too.
Yeah, because it had such good Inner Sandman vibes.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, they took, just this like ideas from his actual theme songs and just put it into his newer theme song. And I think it's brilliant.
Oh, it's great. They're doing really good with this game.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I really couldn't say like more good stuff about the wrestling code. I mean, and it's not just because I'm working with it. I mean, I really, even before they asked me to be on the game, I was sharing their stuff every day. I thought it was so cool because Grim was announced, months, maybe even a year before I was. And so obviously I knew about it because of that. And when
I figured out about it because of you.
That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that, because
I was one of the people who was tweeting at him to put you in the game, because I know you're doing that for a while.
I appreciate that. I really, honestly really appreciate that, because it worked. Your tweets worked. So, because of you and because of the other people that did that, it worked. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate that. And it's just so cool that like I said, that I didn't expect. When I was just sharing their content, I remember when they just followed me on Twitter, I was excited. Yeah. I was like, this is so cool. Now that they can see my stuff, and it's, it just turned into what it turned into. And, it all sprouted. Honestly, like, if you want to hear the story, it was because, number one, they asked me, about being in the game. And of course I said yes. And they knew me from Grimm's, which was awesome. Another reason why I have to thank Grimm. Without him, they might have not even seen me. But regardless, we were talking, and then they were coming out to New Jersey to do their first motion capture session. And they asked me about doing my moves and all that kind of stuff. And I asked them, I said, who's going to be taking my moves? And they didn't have an answer. They said, honestly, we didn't think about that part. And so I said, I can bring somebody to take my moves. I brought Zach Ruby with me, and he took my moves. And I offered, because Zach Ruby wasn't going to be around, I offered to stay for the weekend, because it was just right here in New Jersey where I live. So I was like, I'll hang out. I'll come back for the weekend, and I'll take whoever's moves comes through. So I stayed. I took whoever's moves, was there for that weekend, and they liked my work, and it just took off from there.
Shout out to Zach Ruby. I've watched him progress on a multitude of things. He's doing really good.
Zach, for those of you who don't know, I know it's public knowledge, but some people don't know. I've known Zach since I was 5 years old, and we sat on the bus together, best friends, for years and years. He was in the Army, and then he came back, and he did his little thing as private parts on GTS, and he was Zach Valor. He went through all that. But it was cool because, when we were growing up, I was always into wrestling as a kid, but he really wasn't. And we bonded over different things. We used to make, short films together, music videos and stuff like that. And anyway, he started seeing me do the wrestling, and he was in good shape from the Army. So I just kind of, I had, when I was living at Gribb's house, I had the ring. And I asked Zach if he would just train with me because I needed somebody to train with. Because you can't really, you could train by yourself, but you could only do so much by yourself. So there were certain things I wanted to practice, and I asked him, hey, do you mind just learning this so I could practice this? And he was like, yeah, sure. So it just kind of sprouted from him just learning little things so he could help me out. And then we started tweaking him up on this and showing him that. And then all of a sudden, he started running with his own character and made the gem, and he did so great with it, and I'm very proud of him.
If you go back to the beginning of my channel, I have a Zach Valor entrance video. That's how long I've been watching this guy.
That's awesome.
I've really enjoyed his work, and to know that he wasn't a wrestling fan growing up and he's this good is really interesting.
Yeah, well, he was always, like I said, we were always doing short films and videos and music videos and stuff like that. So he was always into entertainment, and he was always into, doing that kind of and obviously the physicality of it, like I said, came from the Army. When we were growing up, he was like the short, skinny kid, and he went to the Army. He got himself in really good shape. And, he grew a couple inches. He's still a couple inches shorter than me, but, you should have seen the height difference when we were kids. So, to see where he's at today, and like you said, not growing up much of a wrestling fan and then really, getting it as much as he gets it is very rare.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm very proud of him.
Move on a little back to GTS and LCW. There was a incident between Sean Donovan and Grimm that was building up for a year. How much of that was real, and how much of that was Grimm playing off real life emotions to make a story?
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I actually don't really know much about that. I know, I remember when it happened and everything, but I just never really talked to Grimm too much about that. So I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I knew more information, I'd honestly tell you, but that's just not much of a situation that he talked to us about. I think that, so maybe that means there was truth to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because usually he likes to tell us about those kinds of things. So, that's just what I would think, that there was probably some truth to it. Maybe part of it was entertainment, but I definitely think that at least there was some truth to it.
Because one thing he's very good at is making real life into a story and then posting it.
Yeah, for sure. Just like he posted the other day when I couldn't be at Grimomania.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I was watching the episode. I was like, wow, thanks.
Oh, so that was 100% real.
Oh, that was real. No, I'm being dead serious. I texted him that I couldn't be there because I was doing the motion capture. But he I'll say this, he said that I messaged him right there and then. I did not message him right there and then. I messaged him at least a day or two beforehand, which is still not a lot of notice, and I'll be honest with that. Yeah. But he was making it seem like I texted him in that second. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, I thought he called you an asshat on the video, so.
Nah, well, I am an asshat.
That part was the story, I swear.
Nah, well, even if it's not, it's forgiven.
So you have traveled a lot for wrestling, right?
Absolutely.
What is one of your favorite places that you've been to?
That's a good question. I really, really loved going to St. Louis, Missouri, and I was wrestling like right outside of St. Louis, like on the border of St. Louis, Missouri, is St. Louis, Illinois, and right outside of St. Louis, Illinois, is Belleville, Illinois. There's a place called the Belleville Fairgrounds, and they had the biggest fan fest in the Midwest. That's what they were calling it. And they had Cowboy Bob Orton there, and they had Butcher Fashawn, or they had Tommy Dreamer. They had Tony Atlas. I mean, it was a stacked card. They had all these people. They had local guys. But I actually wrestled Onslaught on that show for the GTS Championship.
I remember that.
And that was all the way out near St. Louis, Missouri. And there was about, I think there was about like maybe 500 people there. And so that was really, really cool to get to represent GTS all the way out there.
Move on a little bit towards other wrestlers. Is there any wrestlers you have your eye on who could be one of the next big things?
From anywhere specific?
Anywhere.
So like GTS, LTW?
GTS, LTW, just any place you've seen.
Okay. I mean, besides myself, obviously. I have to put myself over. But, I mean, in all seriousness, though, man, I mean, that's a tough question because there's a lot of people out there that I see potential in. Clark Williams is one from LTW that I see a lot of potential in. And, he got some nice custom tights that he rocked at the last LTW show, and his match with Yankee was really good. For those of you who don't know, Yankee was his trainer. And so that was a really interesting story that they told, and I think that Clark Williams is definitely on that radar of mine. You know what I mean? I think that he has potential to really bring himself to that next level.
I think I ran out of questions.
Yeah.
I think that's where my mind gave up. Most of these have been off the top of my head.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You've been asking some pretty nice questions. I enjoy the questions.
Where would you like to wrestle in the future? Like company. Would you like to move to a Ring of Honor or an Impact or an AEW or a WWE?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, it would be great to be a contracted wrestler. I mean, really, any of those places. I mean, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, right now, where I'm at in my career, I'm super focused on the wrestling code. And I take that as an Impact or a Ring of Honor, or, that's the way I feel about the wrestling code. Like, it really does mean a lot to me. There's some star power that goes along with it. I mean, like I said, I was, I'm hanging out with the likes of DDP and Kurt Angle. I mean, I take it very seriously. So I'm honestly, I'm right where I want to be at this moment. I mean, in the long run, of course, I'd love to work with Impact. I'd love to work with Ring of Honor, which is, I guess, linked with AEW now. In my opinion, signing up for WWE is you need to understand, I feel like, when you sign up for the WWE, that you're signing on there as an actor who plays a part on a television show about wrestling. And it's not necessarily a wrestling show. So you need to be able to accept the fact that, okay, they're going to change you up. They're going to do this. They're going to change your name to Butch. They're going to, change your outfit to this. They're going to do whatever, because that's the role they need to fill on their television show. So if I were to sign with WWE, I would have to understand, okay, like maybe Tony Chini is not going to really be this independent wrestling star on WWE television. Tony Chini might be, Butch number 2 or Jack or something like that. And if that's the spot they need to fill, then I need to be accepting of that and be happy with the fact that I'm on TV. Yeah. So that's how I feel about WWE. I would love to work with them because that's what I grew up watching. That's my dream. And, I would love to work with them even if they want to do that type of thing. That's something that I accept because, I'm still a part of the bigger picture and I appreciate that. But to be a part of, something like I said, like Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW, would be better towards, you know, the wrestler part of me, because then I'm on a wrestling show on television, not a television show about wrestling. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's something people don't understand about going to WWE is you're not exactly going to be a wrestler. You're going to be an actor of a wrestler.
You're portraying a wrestler on a television show about wrestling. Yeah. And they like to use people who are trained in the profession. And they also like to use people who aren't necessarily trained in the profession and then train them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. People get upset because, oh, WWE isn't hiring indie wrestlers right now. Oh, it's the end of the world. Well, guess what? They just hired like 10 indie wrestlers. Because
Christian Casanova's their North American champion, Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
I want to say.
Yep, Christian Casanova. They just signed Notorious Mimi. They signed that Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan. Those are all like kind of like local people from around here that they signed, and they changed all their names.
Yeah.
And is there, you know, there's I don't see any problem with that. I mean, Carmelo Hayes, Christian Casanova, you know, Jimmy J, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter what his name is. He's the North American champion right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so you just got to be accepting of what you're doing on there. Like, you know, it's produced. If you watch it, you can't relate it to AEW or something like that because it's produced in a different way. There's similarities, obviously. It's a big production wrestling television show, but it's just the way that they're presented are two different ways.
So we can confirm that you will be back in GTS soon enough.
Well, right now, you know, just straight up, and Grim has said this on the show, not about me specifically, but he said it about people, and it's true that our schedules just don't match right now.
Okay.
That's really what it comes down to. It's not like I'm dodging him. You know, it's really nothing like that. Nothing but respect for GTS. Not gonna lie, just straight up, I don't really like dealing with Jimmy. So that's another reason why I don't really like going there right now. But
valid point.
Other than that, I mean, it's really just a schedule thing. But you know, I know that he's willing to work with me a little bit, and I'd love to come back for at least, you know, another match or two this year. You know what I mean? So, you know, hopefully I'll be back at GTS at least another time or two this year.
Can't believe I forgot about this, but I was wrestling with Francesca.
She's good. I mean, honestly, she's improving a lot, and you know, she's really coming into herself. She unfortunately just lost the LTW Women's Championship, but that's okay. She wasn't pinned in the match. It wasn't her fault. It was a fatal four-way match. Things happen. Doesn't mean she won't get it back, you know? But at the end of the day, besides being an LTW Women's Champion, she's also a former YouTube champion, GTS champion, multiple-time tag team champion with myself, a former, I believe, co-hardcore champion with Joey Angelo. I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, she's doing great. You know, I'm proud of her too. You know, just like Zach. You know, those are like the two people that I can say that I kind of, I guess, trained. You know what I mean? Because Zach, I kind of trained because he just wanted to help me, and then he just took it upon himself. And then Kat, you know, or Fran, you know, it's just she doesn't. This is the thing with Fran, is that she doesn't get babied when she trains. And I'm clotheslining people in a training session, I'm going to clothesline her just as hard as I clothesline anybody else.
That's good.
Because she wants to be trained that way, and that's the way that people should be brought up, is shown, you know, how it's going to be. Like, because if you baby somebody and then they're put in that situation, then it's just not going to go good. Because she was shown that way, she can hold her own, and she's doing great. You know, in my opinion, she's doing really good.
You can plug whatever you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, follow Tony Chini 96 on Instagram and Twitter. Also, please go give Virtual Basement a follow on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook if you use it. You can also follow me on Facebook if you use it, facebook.com/TonyChiniStubYourToe. If you want to check me out on Pro Wrestling Tees, I got a whole bunch of awesome t-shirts on there. You can also check out Fran on Facebook and Twitter as well, and then on Instagram and on Pro Wrestling Tees. And then if you want, you can check me out on TikTok. I don't post a lot on there, but I probably should. So you might want to follow me now, and hopefully I'll start posting on there soon. And yeah, I mean, that's really it right now. That's all I can think of. If you want, you could order a cameo. You know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. You can find me everywhere. But at the end of the day, find me at your local wrestling show. Find me at your local LTW event, PWE in Philadelphia. Hopefully GTS a couple more times this year. If you follow them on Twitter and Instagram and on YouTube, you can follow me on YouTube. Follow LTW. I like to plug a lot of things, if you couldn't tell. But you can follow me all over the place, and I hope you do. I appreciate you being along for the ride.
Thank you for joining me. This has been an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine, my friend. I do appreciate it. You were very professional. I appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.